Hey everyone, and welcome back to Citywide Blackout, your home for the best creators from around the world. I'm your host, Max Bone. Joining me now, I get to talk to the band Generations. They have recently released their first single, Dreambound, but much more to come. Guys, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Why don't we start with just a round of introductions? Just kind of go like around the room and tell everyone who you are.
Sounds good. I guess I'll start. So I'm Duncan. I'm the drummer in the band. I've been playing drums since I was 10 years old. I love just getting on the drum kit and smacking those skins as hard as I can. And I live in Red Deer, Alberta here. I've always Jaren actually got me into metal music when I was in high school, and I've been addicted ever since. So
I feel like Jaren should introduce himself now that Duncan's already.
Yeah, right. I feel like that would make the most sense.
Yeah.
All right. My name is Jaren. I started playing guitar in high school, and then I sweet talked Duncan into playing metal. I would have taught myself guitar with YouTube videos. And then, I don't know, I'm taking computer science right now. I write all the music for the band. So it's been quite a journey with these fellas, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
You have the aura, the sunlight behind you. Yeah,
I know, dude. I feel like an angel right now.
Yeah.
Especially with my bald head, it's just really shiny.
Yeah. Just reflecting on. I'm Rylan. I guess I'll introduce myself. I'm Rylan. I'm one of the vocalists for the band. I do a lot of screaming primarily. I joined the band in 2017, I think, or something.
Oh, tell the story about how you got kicked out.
Oh, well, I don't know. I tried out early for the band. I don't know. I was probably 14 or something like that. And then, it was just I wasn't good. Of course, it was 14, barking into a microphone. So, but then I don't know. I just went back after and grinded for a bit, and then, eventually joined the band officially in 2017 or something like that, and then I've been around ever since. Currently living in Vancouver for school, studying psychology, and Kelly and I do a lot of writing lyrics and things like that. We collaborate with the entire band for a lot of that stuff, and Jaren contributes to lyrics too and things like that. It's quite a collaborative process, but that's kind of my role.
I'm Dawson. I'm actually Rylan's older brother. He tried out for our band, when he was 14. Worked his way up, and now
I kicked him out.
Yeah, now he's an absolute beast. I'm Dawson. I've been playing guitar since I was 5 years old. I started out with classical and flamenco guitar, so it's far off from what I am now as a metal musician. I went from playing standard tune classical guitars to drop G chuggity chuggity chug. So I'm actually a full-time accountant. I'm working towards my chartered professional accountant here in Canada. I think it's certified professional accountant in the States there. So I'm just an accountant nerd that plays metal. So that's me, Kelly.
So my name's Kelly. I actually ended up joining the band after Dreambound's recording. So I've been with them since probably the beginning of 2019, officially. Myself, I've been singing since I was about 10 when I was in Broadway style theater. Drama geek turned school band, turned into metal musician. It was all because my sister convinced my dad to buy a drum set when I was young, and I kind of just took over the drum set. And then years later, I just kind of slid into the vocalist role.
Cool. I feel like many metalheads have followed that exact same path. They go from drama club to school band to metal band.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
That's me. Professionally, I'm a Red Seal journeyman chef by trade.
Cool.
But, in the trades for work.
Nice. So when like the band's touring, you're gonna be the one doing all the cooking.
No, actually, I'm the. I don't know about that. I cooked them eggs Benny when we did our recording last year. I think
It was
everybody
really
liked it.
good.
So.
It was really
That was
good.
some
Yeah.
that was some good eggs, Benny.
Yeah. That's actually how we like met Kelly. We would always go to like Boston Pizza for wings after every like band practice, and then that's where he was like a chef there, and we'd always get him to make us like extra hot wings that weren't even on the menu, and we would always hear this dude like just absolutely like belting in the back of like in the kitchen just singing, and it was like songs that we recognized and that we really liked and that like we knew were like really hard songs to sing and things like that. So then we kind of eventually like met him and kind of got acquainted with Kelly and then had him out for a jam, and the rest is pretty much history. So
What happened was I went to one of your shows at Bose and I saw the Careless Whisper cover.
oh
I was
yeah
I'm sold.
yeah
Looks like Chris isn't here.
Yeah.
We're missing our bassist. So like the original members would be me, Duncan, and Chris. And Chris is cool. I met him at like playing in a marching band. So I guess there is like a little bit of that.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, interesting. School band to metal band. What a jump.
And our bassist is the one that plays the saxophone for our Careless Whisper cover.
Okay, I've never heard of a saxophone in a metal band. That's a new one for me.
well, hopefully we record a single eventually where there'll be
We have a saxophone.
Yeah.
Chris will be performing, doing some sax work on a single one of these days here.
Yeah. All right.
The crowds go absolutely nuts. Like we'll just be like playing our gent stuff, and then all of a sudden the saxophone just gets whipped out, and the crowd just loses it.
Oh yeah, people will like reach out to touch it and things like
Yeah, of course they will. Absolutely. All right. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about how this band first came to be, because I read, Jaron, you founded the band back in 2016. How did it kind of go from that to what we have now?
So I get really into things, and then I also try to get my friends really into the things that I'm in. And so like I just heard like this down-tuned guitar on like this song, and I'm like, that's the coolest fucking thing I've ever heard. And so like I tried really hard to like learn it and like see what the hell they were doing. And then Duncan and I were friends because we were in like a robotics club. We're just a bunch of nerds if you haven't like got that vibe.
I'm getting that.
And then I would slowly like spew shit onto Duncan. Like I would just like build him up. Like
Just randomly.
I started with like hard rock and stuff and like a little bit of screaming. And then I would always I'd be like, buy a double kick pedal.
It took me forever to buy a double kick pedal too.
And yeah, I don't know. Like we've just been going, and it just like it's been really fun. We've gone through like there's been a few members that we've gone through, and it seems like every one has been like a story. And like even Dawson too. Like he and I worked together. He and I worked at Sobeys while we were in high school, and like I would just be like, "Hey Dawson, check out this cool band. Hey Dawson, check out like this cool metal." And then I think that trickled down to Rylan too, because they're brothers. So
yeah, I was
and
just
did the same thing to Chris. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I manipulated everyone into doing my bidding.
Hey, it works.
When you found me, I was already corrupted. So
Oh, nice. So you have like the one like acolyte.
kind of yeah. I feel like Jaron was kind of like Moses, like in the desert at times.
thou shalt observe the commandments of the gent.
Yeah.
And we've been some genty boys ever since. So it's been a lot of work, but it's been really fun.
Yeah. I've been listening to Dreambound a bunch of times, and that's a fucking amazing song, guys. That's an awesome one.
Thanks.
Hell of an opening round. But I know you guys also have an album in the works too, right?
I have a whole album of content written. It's just like funding and then getting it recorded. So one day we'll get there. Maybe it'll be like 10 years from now, but it'll happen.
Eventually, it's still in the works.
Yeah.
We do have a single recorded that's which year did we record that? 2021? Was that
Yeah,
when we
2021. We recorded
December
it
of 2021. Yeah.
we recorded it with Kelly. That's our first song with Kelly.
Oh, cool.
Things.
We got that in our pocket, and it's gonna be it's gonna take take everybody by storm when we put that one out.
Cool. Is it kind of in like the same vein as Dreambound?
It's really dark.
Oh, nice.
Like really dark and gritty.
I like
and it has
that.
like this 80s like synth wave kind of feel going for it. It's really progressive because we only play like we have a like the song never repeats. We only play like a chorus once. So it's like nothing you've ever heard.
Yeah, I like that.
The nature of the song is about like mental illness and depression.
Oh.
So but it's still kind of in the same vein of like the technique.
Okay. How did mental illness kind of become like the subject for the song?
I'm actually not sure, Jaron. I think I
kind of went through like a time there for a bit, and that's kind of like when I wrote an album, because like that's kind of how I expressed the way that I was feeling, and then I just yelled at Kelly to write about mental illness, and he did a banging job, or Kelly and Ryland. So yeah,
well, that, and it was right in the middle of COVID, so you know, actual depression is a great thing that fuels lyrics. So.
Yeah, I think it's something that a lot of maybe members in the band have like dealt with and experienced. And, you know, like for Kelly and I, you know, we collaborated on the lyrics of the song, and that was the first time we'd ever like worked together for like writing a song. And I think like the process went really well, and like our lyrical styles just mesh really well together. So that's why, you know, I think he's a great addition to the band, just because and a great band member, just because his ability to write lyrics is exceptional. And I think, like our, I don't know, we kind of wrote our separate parts and then just came together, and it ended up being like both the parts that we'd individually written just meshed so well together. We didn't really have to do many revisions or anything. Like it just fit together like a whole puzzle. It was great.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Recording Stranger Things was interesting because like when we recorded Dreambound, we had it like all planned to a T. Like we were proud. Dreambound would have like really accelerated us as a band because it was really hard. It was really hard for us to learn. All of us struggled with that song. So it kind of like pushed us to a new level. And then when we recorded Stranger Things, Ryland and I would have left to BC for school. So like a province away. But we all like came back to record Stranger Things, but we didn't know how this song would sound together. Like we had no idea. We just like, we knew our parts, we knew the lyrics, like we theoretically had an idea, but we didn't know. So it was like wild to see it like all come into play. And I remember like when we were leaving, we were all in like Duncan's truck, and like recording at the studio is like an intense thing because it's like 2 days and it's just go. And we were like, what the fuck was that? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, Stranger Things is a bop. It's my favorite track so far.
Nice.
It's just in the mixing process right now too. So we're hoping, well, I don't know when we'll have it prepared. It's just going through that whole mixing process. Then I'll have to go through mastering. But man, we are so pumped because like we love Dreambound. It was such a great song, and we've gotten a lot of really great feedback on it. But boy, Stranger Things is like just, we're so excited.
Well, when we were recorded Dreambound, we were kids. Like Ryland was only 17 when we recorded that song.
He was literally still a kid.
He was literally a child. Like we were just a bunch of kids. Like I'm just about 25 now, and I was like 21 when we went in. Same with like Duncan. So
damn, man.
Yeah.
I gotta say, hearing that makes the song even like more impressive to like hear that. Oh yeah, we were all like in our teens, like low 20s when we recorded that song. Holy shit!
Just like living in our parents' basement, like
Yeah.
spending all of our money on fucking equipment and like expensive studio time, but hey,
This
it
is
pays
how
off.
it goes, right?
Yep.
You make some money, record a song. You make some more money, you buy some more gear.
Yeah, especially when like I don't know, like for all the guitarists or gearheads out there, that's such an addiction, man. It's just like buying more
Yeah.
shit.
I've got like a small taste of that doing this show because I'm always like on lookout for like new stuff, new toys, and so I'm like, oh, this new microphone, these new headphones, this new whatever. And I can only imagine it's probably just like 10 times more for like any kind of musician.
Oh yeah, dude. And like fucking Duncan and I, we worked in like an audio production company. So we would get like some pretty mad deals on stuff. So like
Nice.
So
Yeah,
you know,
shout out to
just
Parkland
aiding
Audio.
to the addiction.
Yeah. We've got like our like a whole jam. You can kind of see it behind Dawson there, but we've got like a whole jam room set up and like a mixer and like a bunch of in-ears and like yeah, it's pretty sweet.
We are a whole bunch of fucking nerds. Like we go to like these like dive bars and we have like a whole server set up. And, like,
We literally bring a router for our in-ear monitors. We'll just show up like router, mixer, run all the in-ear monitor lines. Everybody's got in-ears that are just cabled in. And
dude, sound guys hate us, man.
yeah, sound guys absolutely despise us.
Yeah, it is a little overkill, but I don't know. It's like, it's just part of like, I think who we are as a band. I feel like we just really like gear and like putting on a really good show. So part of that,
And that's really a good thing too. I think that you guys had that kind of commitment to making the show as good as possible. Yeah, the sound guys may like look at you and think, "Oh, fuck these guys," but if the show sounds amazing, then fucking worth it, man.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what we all think. I think like that's kind of our approach to shows, is it's worth the trouble. And it doesn't take long for us to set up. Like we got it working like a pretty well-oiled machine now because we've been running in-ears for so many years now. So I think that, yeah, we just kind of get set up really quick. And I think, yeah, at first sound guys are pretty apprehensive, but there's been a few times where, you know, we have like sound guys, they seem really grumpy and pissed off as we're like setting up all our gear and saying, hey, we want to like run in-ear lines and things like that. But then, you know, we try not to take too long setting it up. And then kind of after we play, like usually in our experience, the sound guy kind of cheers up a little bit more after that, just because I think they're just maybe happy with the performance and how quickly we run through everything.
Sure, yeah. All right. Now, I'm not too familiar, obviously, with the scene up where you guys are. So, what are some of the venues you frequent?
The Vat's like kind of like the spot in Red Deer for what we do.
The Vat, yeah.
Bose is pretty good too. Bose, we played a few shows there.
Bar and Grill.
Bose, yeah.
Okay. Rylan, you should tell speaking of like sound guys, you should tell the Vern story.
Yeah, well, like, so we there's this place in Calgary, Alberta called Vern's. It's kind of in like a basement under, I think it's under like a pizza joint or something like that. Like, it's just like in the basement.
It's a dive bar.
Well, it's hey man, it's got some character, man. I like Vern's.
I love Vern's.
Don't be hating on Vern's. Yeah, it is a little bit.
No hate.
It's got lots of character, that's for sure. There's like a wall behind the stage where there's just a ton of cymbals and things like that. And there's the sound guy. I think he's the owner. He's the bartender. Like, he's kind of a jack of all trades guy there. And he looks like Santa Claus, you know, and he's this like big, you know, he's kind of scary, at least for me. I was like pretty young at the time we played this venue.
We had to sneak you in.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
He was like more than willing. No, I shouldn't say this on.
Yeah. Well, because like I was underage, like being in the band for so long. So some bars I did have to kind of sneak into to be able to play a show. And so this one I kind of like snuck in. You have to play the show. And his name was Clint. And yeah, he's like this big kind of grizzly guy. And for me as a young kid, I don't know, it was a bit intimidating. He seemed a little bit, you know, like standoffish at first. And yeah, his name was Clint, and like the locals that went to the bar all the time, they called him Clintoris. But yeah, he was pretty like he seemed troubled and like kind of pissed off that we wanted to run in ears, and he was
Really?
he was bitching about it at first, like, oh, I don't want to set up in ears and fuck it, I hate running in ears and stuff like that. But anyways, we went through it real quick, and we played our sets, and then we cleared off and got all our gear off stage and things like that. And then kind of by the end of the night, after all the other bands played after us and we were loading out and things like that, he paid us, which he didn't take a cut from the sales of the bands. Like he only takes, like as far as money that he takes, like he just takes it from like drinks that he sells and things like that, which I thought was like quite amazing. Like you don't see too many venues do that. So shout out to Verns and Calgary for being that way. Like you can tell he really wants to support local bands, which is great. And then, but anyways, like the whole night he was just like kind of grumpy and, you know, seemed pissed off that he had to set up, or that we wanted to set up in-ears and things like that. And then after we played and we were clearing out of the venue, he gave each one of us in the band a hug and told us how great of a show we played, and to come back anytime, and like we were always welcome at his venue and things like that. So it was a funny experience, because at first like I was intimidated by him, and I think everyone kind of got a standoffish like feeling from him. But then at the end of the night, he was giving each of us a hug, and it was really, it was quite strange, but it was really good. Like I love that venue. It was quite the experience playing there. So
Dude, literally, like life has not been the same since we've played at Verns. Like we played at Verns and then COVID happened, and it's just been downhill since then, dude.
There's kind of this running joke in the band that like we went into Verns, and then like once you go into Verns, life is never the same once you leave, and you just like enter
like the Twilight Zone.
The Twilight Zone, yeah.
And then literally like nukes can go off outside, like aliens could come or something, but you can go into Verns and it's just nothing matters.
Yeah, time stops
in Alberta plays Verns at one point, every band.
Yeah, you pretty much talk to any local band like that plays in the Alberta scene, and yeah, they'll know about Verns, and you can tell them about the experience there. It was funny, like last year in Kelowna, I went to like a punk concert, and then there was one band playing there, and I ended up like because one of the opening bands, I was friends with the bass player, and so then I went to an after party and was like chatting with all the other bands that were playing. And yeah, the leading the headliner for that show that night, I ended up talking with the guys in that band. They were telling me about how they played at Verns before and what an experience it was for them too. Like everyone that's played there kind of has a story, it seems. So, you know, I got to give Verns credit really as a venue. Like it's quite an amazing place. So
I gotta like check this place out now. Holy shit, man. Sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah. No, definitely if you're ever around, like give her a go, man.
Yeah, just to like see Clint in person, just because like I want to see this like massive, like larger than like life presence here.
Go give
him you know, and of course I was young at the time, so maybe my interpretation isn't totally accurate now, but that's to my memory. He was just like, he's quite the character, you know. And at first, yeah, he was standoffish, but then like deep down you could tell he's like a warm, you know, he's kind of like Santa Claus is the best way I can describe him.
Like a drunk Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Drunk Santa Claus. Perfect.
The funny thing was too, when he came over and like gave each one of us a hug, I think I was like the first one to get a hug, and I was not expecting it. And he just whispers into, well, not whispers, he was kind of loud in the, he's like, "You're a great guitarist, but a terrible hugger." And I'm like, okay, thank you.
Wow. That's critical, jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, but then we played another show there, I think the next weekend or something too. So
yeah,
he was a chill dude.
The band played Bose before I joined. We played the Vat. Yeah, I've played tons of places between this band and the band that I was in before. I was all over the place, but
nice. All right.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious as to kind of like where you guys all were like musically before you formed Generations.
I was in a metalcore band. I was doing the clean vocals in a metalcore band and writing leads for it on piano and stuff like that.
I was playing tuba in a marching band. I don't know, like fucking writing dubstep in grade 9. So
Shit.
Nice.
I think I was beatboxing dubstep in like middle school.
like from there, like that's pretty much it for me. I didn't start learning guitar until I was like 17 or 18 or something like that.
Yeah, you really didn't start learning until I kind of met you, and then we used to hang out a lot in high school and just like play guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I used to, like I said, I used to play classical and flamenco guitar. So there's an artist in Canada called Jesse Cook, and it's just brilliant, like Spanish. Like I said, completely different from the guitar I play now, but just love that type of slower classical style. Played a lot of like competitions and talent shows and stuff like that as I was growing up. Like I said, I've been playing for like 15 years, so been playing for a long time. And then when I kind of met these guys, I was starting to get into like electric guitar and stuff like that, and just really like the kind of more chuggier stuff as it kind of moved on. Like nowadays, I love Meshuggah and like all that stuff that's really low tune and just thick and chunky. But they asked me to join this like cover band basically, and we were playing like Breaking Benjamin covers and like all these like basically hard rock stuff that was tuned to like drop B flat and some Parkway Drive covers and stuff like that. And that's kind of what got at least me into the more heavier stuff. And then Jaron wrote Dreambound. Well, I wrote a couple other songs, and then Dreambound. We were all just like blown away by that, and started.
Dreambound was the one we were most excited about for sure.
Yeah.
It's neat to see like how we've all come together from so many different kinds. Like you guys all kind of shared common influences going in, but like I'm a post-hardcore kid that like listened to Alexis on Fire in high school. So like it's neat that we've somehow all ended up on Gent.
That is kind of weird. Yeah, we ended somehow from all our weird backgrounds too. We end up on like arguably one of the most, how should I say, like memey and strange subgenres of metal.
No, dude, it was all planned from the start.
Yeah, totally calculated. Yeah,
It was preordained that you would like all meet and form this band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I guess like Dawson, my brother, he started off with classical, and I kind of was the same, other than I was playing violin for several years, doing like classical in kind of that vein. And I played in like an orchestra for quite a few years, and I was just like taking lessons, trying to get through my levels or whatever for violin. And then my brother and I, we kind of started listening to like Linkin Park was, I think, the first kind of quote unquote heavy band for us at the time when we were kids. And so then, though we still continued with like our classical orientation for music, we like that metal and hard rock and that sort of genre kind of followed us through. And then eventually we started to get into like heavier stuff, and my brother always kind of influenced my music taste, of course, because we spent a lot of time together as kids. So then it just kind of grew and developed. And then I think I started singing at around like 14 or something like that, just trying to scream like Slipknot songs and things like that. And then and blowing my voice out just about every day, trying to figure that out. But then throughout time, like all of our music tastes have evolved since then. And we all kind of aligned for Gent, like Kelly said. So
we were all band nerds, though. I'm noticing that every one of us is band nerds.
Yep. And we all like Linkin Park. Hybrid Theory, man.
Yeah.
That's loaded.
Yeah.
What about you, Dunk Man?
Well, I actually I was like 10 years old, and like I had asked my parents, I was like, I really want like a drum kit, and I really want a drum kit. And then one day for my birthday, they brought me, well, they first like kind of had like an electric kit for me. And then one day they bought me just like a full like 5-piece drum kit, just like all the cymbals and everything. And I thought that was the coolest thing. I originally grew up like in the church a lot, so I was playing like a lot of like gospel music and stuff like that. And then I was always into kind of the rockier scene, so I was listening to like Kings of Leon and like Red Hot Chili Peppers and stuff like that. And I think I probably before I joined this band, like I must have known like 2 full Kings of Leon albums, because they were like my favorite band at the time. And then started hanging out with Jaren, and he was just kind of started force feeding me metal a little bit, and it's kind of an acquired taste. So that's kind of what you have to do, just like little bits at a time. It's kind of like coffee or like
Beer
seafood or something like that.
Stars or something like that.
Yeah. So eventually I just got into it, and the rest is history. So
Nice.
Duncan's way too humble. He's a fucking machine of a drummer. Like
He is. Yeah,
He's a
his
beast.
nickname in the band is literally the Machine.
he would have that church he would have been playing in is like quite a big church. So like he's always had experience playing live. So
yeah, it's like a
definitely,
1,500 person church. So like playing in front of that, like I played more in front of more people in that church than we ever have with this band.
Yeah.
So
and like he was doing that as like a teenager, you know. So
Yeah.
fucking just bred
Yeah,
to be a
seriously.
stage drummer.
Nice, man. Nice. All right. So you've got Dreambound out now. You got Stranger Things on the way. What else do we have planned for this year?
Ooh, well, we got Change is what we're working on right now.
Okay.
Yeah. We'd like to get it recorded whenever we get money.
it's pretty hard when you're a university student.
When you're a university student, yeah.
Afford
Yep.
stuff like that.
Change has everything though. Change has a ballad. Change has some of our heaviest riffs. It's in our lowest tuning. Change has like a solo in it too. Like it's a very pretty song.
Cool.
We're hoping to play some shows this summer as well when everybody's kind of back in town. But of course, right now it's just like I'm an accountant, so tax season's right away. Basically, no guitar for like 2 months, and then and then summer and everybody's back. We'd love to play some shows here around
Nice.
Alberta and stuff like that.
Nice. Any venues you haven't been to that are kind of on your must play list?
I really want to play the Starlight Room in Edmonton.
I've heard that place a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to play that Union Hall. Union Hall. To be honest, I'd like to play like Rogers Place. Like
Yeah.
Probably won't happen for quite a while.
Take or go home.
Palace Theater, at least in Calgary, eh? That'd be
Yeah, the
cool.
Palace would be a nice.
Oh yes, absolutely. Palace. I'd like even like places like restaurant and bars like the Palomino in Calgary. They host bands. Love to play there too.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Duncan, Jaren, Dylan, Dawson, Kelly. I am absolutely loving Dreambound and definitely looking forward to hearing Stranger Things and Change and just everything else down the road.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for
thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah,
man.
you got it. All right. But before we go, let's give the folks at home the socials. Where do folks find you to learn more about you and follow the band?
So we have like Instagram and Facebook. You can just find us at like generations_band official. And yeah, I'm usually the guy that's running the social medias. I haven't been super active on it lately just because I've been busy with school, but usually around releases and we're going to start, every time we get put on a Spotify playlist or things like that. Hopefully this summer with more shows and things like that, we'll have lots more activity on social media. And yeah, feel free to follow us and find us on Spotify and SoundCloud and Apple
Everything.
Music and everything.
We're on, our music's on every like
Streaming platform.
distributor or whatever.
And I think it's
Yeah.
easier to like contact us through. I think our Instagram is the most active of the platforms.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that actually reminds me of a couple of things. Who did the art for Dreambound? Because that is not what I would expect.
I would have hired my first year at computer science was at University of Calgary, and I met this her name is Zara. I can't pronounce her last name. I'm not going to try, but she would have done the artwork and she did a banging job.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. And who's your photographer? Because they definitely deserve a shout out. The person who took the shots of like each of you guys, because they're fucking phenomenal.
We've had a few different ones. I know like our single shots that we got kind of for like the release of Dreambound and like that we posted for the lead up to Dreambound was Marlene Polymeric.
At I think it's Painted Light. I'm just gonna look up and
Yeah.
make sure.
Painted Light Photography in Lacombe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to her. She's really great to work with. If anyone needs, to get photos taken in kind of central Alberta area, like she's definitely great to work with. My brother and I are like grew up with her sons in Lacombe and things like that. So, she was really great to work with there.
All right, guys. Well, that is all the time we have for today. I want to thank you once again. Definitely looking forward to the new music, and I'm sure we'll be talking again real soon.
Awesome.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
sounds good.
problem.
Thanks for having us, Max.
Yeah,
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
thanks.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Brian Murphy from One Time Mountain, and you're listening to Citywide Blackout with Max Bowen.
Rock on.
And that brings this episode to a close. Thanks to everyone for listening, and be sure to follow the show on Facebook at Citywide Blackout and Twitter and Instagram at CitywideMax. You can reach me at citywidemax@yahoo.com to suggest a guest or submit music for the Blackout Collection playlist. You can find the show wherever you check out your favorite podcasts, and new episodes are aired every Saturday at 10 p.m. EST on Boston Free Radio. That's all for now, and I'll see you next time.